It's available on Peacock if you can't go to the theaters. But if you can go to the theaters, go support this and show some spooky stuff some love, this season. Yeah. Always. Moving on, I wanted to give a shout out to HBO, the new HBO Max miniseries, What Happened, Brittany Murphy.
Oh, yes. Very good.
Which is very well done. Very sad, obviously, as a big fan. I'm sure both of us were big fans of her work. It just goes into detail about everything surrounding her death, her career, her family, her late husband, and it's you learn a lot, and it's just great to see her back up on the screen, and her becoming relevant again and reliving some special movie magic that she helped bring us, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Seeing those clips and stuff, specific clips from movies that she was in, just, reminds you of how great an actress she was. And it was cool to get kind of brought back into those moments and kind of have, I remember when I was watching this movie and I saw this scene and really cool stuff for them to do that. And I think it was, like you said, it's a great thing for them to do that and to kind of bring light to some of the stuff that most people didn't know or kind of had questions about.
Definitely. So check that out. It's streaming now on HBO Max. And then my final recommendation, of course, I couldn't go without talking about this. It's the new Chucky series on USA and Sci-Fi, and a big thing with me and them bringing this to basic cable. I thought that they were going to ham it up a bit and not be able to go full throttle the way that these movies usually do. But they proved me wrong, and it's just as good, if not better, than the franchise, because you're getting Brad Dourif as Chucky and this premise, but in a series format, which is obviously you're going to get more content and more time spent with this character that we all love and this new kind of story that they're spinning. Of course, it's overseen by Don Mancini, the original creator, and having a lot of fun with it. It's fantastic so far. And of course, it's very satirical, as the later Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, all of those were. But then, at the same time, it's kind of going back to the roots of the original 3 films, where it has this kind of serious tone to it as well. And I dig it.
Nice. And it's a continuation of the previous films, correct?
Well, I think that's where they're leaning towards. Yeah, it's in no way a reboot or anything. We are, everything that's happened has happened, and they do make references to things, but Chucky's in a new family, so to speak, and we're kind of learning as we go. It's only 2 episodes in, so we're still kind of oblivious as viewers as to where the story itself is going and their overall motive for this series, but so far it's great.
Nice. Okay, cool. I'll have to check that one out. I know it looked pretty interesting when I saw the commercial for it actually a couple of days ago.
There's this big thing about this last episode as Chucky talks about, I don't know, have you seen Seed of Chucky yet?
Yes.
Yeah. So he tells the kid that he's living with, he's like, I have a kid, and he's like, the kid's like, you have a son? And he's like, yeah. Or he was like, yeah, he's a queer kid or whatever. And he's like, or I mean gender fluid. And then the kid's like, and you're okay with that? And he was like, I'm not a monster, Jake.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so it's like definitely playing within social commentary of what we're going through today, as as horror tends to do, even if it's very low key. But that's a big thing that's going on right now, or a meme I keep seeing it's pretty awesome,
That's cool.
But yeah, check out Chucky. You should be able to DVR it or get it on demand, I believe.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
Your main focus, I know it was a brand new watch for both of us, is that correct?
Yes.
Right, alright. So it's called Werewolves Within. It's rated R. It's from 2021. This past summer it came out. It runs at 1 hour and 37 minutes. It's a horror comedy, and it's got a smooth 86 on Rotten.
Nice.
Directed by Josh Rubin. Written by Mishna Wolf. Starring Sam Richardson, Milana Van Trub, Harvey Gullin, Annie Kruger, Cheyenne Jackson, Mikaela Watkins, Glenn Flisher, Sarah Burns, George Basil, Wayne Duvall, and Rebecca Henderson. The film takes us to a small Vermont town of Beaverfield, where tensions start to run high as a proposal of a new pipeline has the townspeople's divided. With the arrival of a serious snowstorm, a new ranger and postal worker, and a mysterious animal seemingly targeting various people, a classic game of whodunit starts to unfold. Based upon the VR video game of the same name released in 2016, the film was shot during the pandemic in early 2020 with a modest budget. Werewolves Within premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival in early summer of 2021 and shortly after began a limited theatrical run, opening alongside F9. With the film being available for streaming at the same time, it became one of the most rented new releases of that time frame. Overall, Werewolves Within is a fun and rather lighthearted mystery flick that delivers everything you'd want to see. Gore, satire, great character performances, and a few twists that aren't necessarily easy to put your finger on. With its tone in the vein of Edgar Wright's Hot Fuzz, with a dash of Carpenter's The Thing sprinkled in for good measure, this film is probably one of the better contemporary camp films you have yet to see. Thank you.
Nice. That is so funny that you bring up Hot Fuzz, because I was getting some Edgar Wright vibes from the. Like I said, I don't know if that was intentional. But that's funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah, even just like some of the shot choices, some of the,
yes.
When they're setting up or gearing to do something, it was just there, and I thought I was imagining things for a while, and I was like, no, that's definitely the vibe that I'm getting, where there's like, you can feel something's looming in the back but you don't know where it's taking you,
Mm-hmm.
And I dig that,
Very
man.
much so.
So, you know how I felt. So, what did you think about the film?
I was like you said, this was a fresh watch for me as for you. I was excited to watch this one, just because the trailer for me, it seemed like it was going to be a really fun movie, and the trailer did not disappoint me in giving me those expectations. So I was pleasantly proven right, I guess, from what the trailer made me feel. And I thought the comedy hit perfectly every time. It wasn't too much, and it wasn't forced. I don't feel like it was forced at any point throughout the film, and I think all the characters mesh very well together. The actors felt like they were kind of made for these roles. I think I really did like Harvey and Cheyenne. I thought them as a couple they were a hilarious couple together. And Milana, I thought she's she's gorgeous. You don't really see that from her commercials in like the AT&T commercials or whatever that she's in. But I'm glad to see, like I said before, I think when I mentioned the film, that good to see that she's branching out and getting that shine to do films and stuff. And I think Sam, who played Finn Wheeler, he's a ranger in this. I think he shined as well in this. I know he's not really your first choice in a leading man for a film, but he shined, and I don't feel like the movie was too much for him. Like at any point, he fit in this film. I feel like every actor in this played their part to like 110%. That being said, I don't feel like anyone overacted or anything like that, because I don't think most of these guys these actors and actresses aren't well known. They're not huge names in anyone's list of actors. If you were to name some of these people, you'd be like, oh, I think I've seen him in this, or I might have seen him in a commercial or something, something smaller. But I loved all the characters in this, and like you said, a lot of it reminded me of a little bit of like Knives Out, if you will, mixed with like just the mystery whodunit vibe that you get from it, thrown in with possibly a werewolf. Everyone's kind of, you get that they all kind of have that cabin fever, like they're kind of all turning on each other. They don't know what's really going on. It's kind of mass hysteria at its best, and then throwing in the comedic lines in there every once in a while. I felt like it really did this movie a great service.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. Just the whole setup. I dug the town and the way that it was shot, and then everybody, even though it feels very quirky, as far as like the townspeople, kind of in like how Fargo is, like where it's a serious film, but that's just how those people really live, and it feels organic in that way. It's like, it's supposed to be funny, but it's not trying to play necessarily for laughs, if that makes sense,
Yeah, it does. Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that, because it's I feel like we don't get, this is the second werewolf movie that we did for a Halloween themed movies or movie reviews for the podcast for October, but you don't see werewolf films all that often, right?
Right.
Or I should say good ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you see the bad ones pretty often, but the good ones are kind of far and few between.
So with that being said, what are some of your favorite werewolf movies? Or do you have any that stick out to you?
Let's see. I actually like the Werewolf, the one that came out, was like 2009 or something.
Well, with Benicio del Toro?
Yeah, I'm actually a fan of that one. I know a lot of people didn't like it.
I
thought it was really cool.
It's called Wolfman, right?
Is it Wolfman? Okay.
Let me double check.
I really do like that movie. Whenever it's on, or whenever it's available on anything streaming, I do definitely watch it. I like because it's like a period piece, and it's definitely in that time I really enjoy. So anything that's way back then, I really enjoy. I like that one. I loved American Werewolf in Paris.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I remember watching that at a younger age, being like, holy crap, I don't think I'm supposed to be watching this movie at certain points. But, going over to my cousin's house and having them, they were always watching stuff like this. They didn't really have any rules, if you were, to watching scary movies or anything, so I got to watch that. Off the top of my head, I think that's it. Like I said, I mentioned it before. I enjoyed. It's not really a werewolf movie, but it has werewolves in it. Underworld, the first one mainly.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed that one a lot. There's werewolves in it. I love the you get to see the transformation from human to a lichen or a lycanthrope. But that was that's a really good one. I like the